So the middle of the sun is very hot. And as you come out from the middle of the sun gets cooler. Makes sense, right? Well, now let's take a look at the outside of the sun. This is a picture of it being covered by the big night rock. So you can see that. So let's call this part of the sun the ground. And as we go further out from the ground to the sky, something very weird happens. The sun actually starts to get hot again. And as we go even further out, it gets up so hot that it's way more like the middle of the sun. And the biggest problem right now is understanding the sun. And understanding the sun is figuring out why this happens. But in order to tell you what idea we have as to why this happens, I need to tell you a little bit about the push and pull things that are inside of it. So let's say that you have two of these push-pull things, and when they're far away from each other, the lines look like this. And when you put them closer, the lines suddenly join up and change and look like this. And this looks like this, as we can see. So the sun has very strong push and pull lines. So these kinds of things happen all the time inside the sun and in the sun sky. And because these lines are so strong on the sun, when they join up, they give up a lot of light and become very hot. And you can see how big our home is. So we can call these sun flashes. And we think that these sun flashes might have something to do with why the sun sky might be so hot, so we want to understand them better. And a very important part of understanding these things better is to know exactly how hot they are. But you can't touch them. And the sun is also far away anyway, so how can we figure out how hot they are? Well, one thing that we can do is we can take pictures of the sun from here at home and in space with the sky boxes. But it turns out that this is actually all we need. Because hot things are brighter in some colors, and cold things are brighter in other colors. And we can take pictures where we only see sort of one color of light at a time, and we can use them to find out how hot the sun is. And the way that works is like this. So how bright a picture of the sun is in a given color is because of, one, how much stuff there is that is a given hot, and two, how bright that hot stuff should look, and added together over how hot it could be from very cold to very hot. So we want to find out how much stuff there is at a given hot. And this is a really hard problem, but we can usually figure it out for most places on the sun. But what we've found is that when we try to do this with the biggest sun flashes, it doesn't work. So every time there's a black spot in the pictures, that's where we can't find out how hot the sun is at that place. So our problem is to figure out when and where, and maybe why, this is happening. See, in later parts of the sun flash, we still get these black parts, but they're only in a few places. And these places are right at the top of where the push-pull lines, where the loops join together, where the lines join together again. So this might tell us why it's not working when we try to figure out how hot the sun is at these places. So in order to find out how hot the sun is, the key part of this is how bright that hot stuff should look. And the way that we know this is we make good guesses about what the hot stuff is made of and how it usually acts. But with everything that's happening with the line joining together, this could mean that those guesses aren't right. And this would be really exciting because it would tell us more about how the sun flashes work and maybe if they have something to do with the sun sky being so hot. So we've talked about when and where we can't find out how hot the sun is, but next we want to find out some other stuff. Is it only happening for the biggest sun flares? Can we fix it by changing our guesses? And about what the sun is made of and how it acts, and so we're hoping to find out. And these are some people who helped me. That's my last thing. Thank you.